Hi, welcome to Wimberley Glassworks. My name is Tim DeYoung. I'm the owner, head designer of Wimberley Glassworks, and this is the hot shop. This is where all the magic happens, where all the glass pieces get made, and all the heat is. The material itself, glass, has been around for about 6,000 years. 4,000 years old is your oldest dated glass piece. It's called a core vessel. Core vessels were made by the Egyptians and the Phoenicians. At this time in history, glass had more value than gold because it was so difficult to make. The Romans discovered you could inflate glass, and for the very first time in history, glass becomes common. Nearly anyone could afford to own a piece of glass. Well, now we're in the hot shop. So let's talk about some of the tools we use. They're, common names. Tweezers. You'd think that maybe they're used in the bathroom. These are our tweezers. A little bit bigger. We have scissors. You can actually cut glass with these scissors and with these scissors. These are called diamond shears because they're in the shape of a diamond and they cut the glass right off. Now these things here that kind of look like barbecue tongs are actually called jacks. Now they were invented by the Romans, but we're not real sure if they were invented by a Roman guy named Jack, but that is what they're called. When the Romans invented these tools, they were two blades of iron. They were connected in the back with a strap of leather, and they were opened and closed almost like chopsticks. The big difference today is this metal here, which is called spring steel. Now we have another tool here, invented by the Romans 1,850 years ago. These are called wood blocks. They soak in water, but they're actually wood. Apple, pear, or cherry wood only. Now that wood is really, really dense, and when it burns, develops hairline cracks, little tiny cracks. So when you soak them in water, the wood holds a tremendous amount of water in them. So when the glass rides through the form, it boils the water in the wood, creates steam. The steam shapes the glass. It's pretty fascinating. And this thing here that kind of looks like a pot holder, well, this is what's available today instead of the wood block. It's 6 sheets of wet newspaper, and it works the same way. It's wet, creates steam, the steam shapes the glass. The handy thing is you can actually bend it with your hands and shape the glass the way you want with your hands, without going to the hospital, of course. Now, how glass is melted? Imagine that. So it's not just sand off the beach. Glass is primarily silica sand, but that melts at 3,000 degrees. So you have to drop the melting temperature down. We have to use an acid. The acid in our glass is borax. You can actually go to the grocery store and buy it. Then you have to add something that keeps the glass movable at a lower temperature. Soda ash, it's called a flux. Then you have to add something that makes it more brilliant. Barium. That's it, it's barium. Then you have to stop the acid, and that's called a stabilizer, and that's lime, just like all the limestone we have all around us. Crush it up into a powder, and there you go, there's your stabilizer. Those are the main ingredients in glass. You put them all together, you bring it up to 2,380 degrees, that's really hot, and it melts in the glass overnight. And the color in the glass is also fascinating. It's made from different metals or metal oxides. So we come up with ideas mostly from what surrounds us here in the beautiful hill country. The rivers, the trees, the sky, all these elements that surround us every day are very inspiring for what we make. And we try to reflect what we make in the pieces we produce. Now you guys are going to come up with the plans for the monsters. So free yourself up a little bit. Think about what's around you. Think about what scares you at night. Think about what you want to laugh at and make yourself a monster.